lucky enough to hang out with my friend Brad Pilon, author of Eat, Stop, Eat this week, and thought you guys might enjoy just casual conversation with Brad, see what he's up to, what he's doing, what's happening with Eat, Stop, Eat, and all that kind of good stuff. So, Brad, how long has it been now since Eat, Stop, Eat came out?
I was just trying to figure that out. I think it's just been a little over 2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah, so it was probably a little over 3 years since the original manuscript was done for school. And then there was the 6 to 8 months it took to rewrite the manuscript into the book that's online now. So, yeah, it's been an adventure.
Yeah, the time flies. 2 years already. But you were telling me, just a few minutes ago, how it was kind of nerve-wracking to take that work that you did over the work that you did for your postgraduate studies and put that out to the world.
Absolutely.
How's that gone?
It's
how
gone
do you
well.
feel about the feedback you've gotten?
The hardest scrutiny was still in the actual original paper. The book scrutiny is more just people defending myths and things that they believe to be true, right? So when I originally presented the work at school, a lot of the criticism was just on my methods, etc. Right? So in terms of how you did your data collection, etc. Whereas online,
Scientists.
Online the arguments are like, that's BS. I have a friend who has a friend, and her mom skipped breakfast all the time and was fat. So it's arguments like that I.
People defending their preconceptions about.
Yeah, it's a lot of that, and I think it's people are having a hard time with the idea of sort of letting go and simplifying, and then minimizing and realizing that I'm a firm believer in that when you make healthy eating complex, we're inadvertently creating the whole franken-food industry that we hate, right? So on one hand, we complain that major pop companies are putting vitamins in their pop, but then we write massive articles on how vitamins are important. So I think people are having a hard time just sort of letting go and realizing that eating healthy and eating well can be simple.
Sure. Yeah, you're one of the guys that came up with and popularized the term obsessive compulsive eating.
Right.
What are some of the symptoms that you've run across that kind of characterize that?
Okay, so I came across just brainstorming obsessive compulsive eating when I was getting my feedback from Eat, Stop, Eat. So Eat, Stop, Eat had been out, and the original feedback was either I love your book or hate your book, that sort of thing. And then it was people who bought it and were saying I like your book, but instead of telling me how they lost weight, they're like you really freed me from having to think about food every hour or about worrying about what I was eating. And I thought, well, this is something new, right? So I actually looked into it, and I coined the term obsessive compulsive eating to describe the issue. There is a doctor, Stephen Bratman, I believe, who actually has the term orthorexia for obsession with eating healthy. I think his definition is a bit of a harsher version than mine. I really think that obsessive compulsive eating in our industry and people who are trying to be fit is just an obsessively constantly thinking about food. You believe there's a magic that you're missing. So since we've been led to believe that eating less isn't the answer, it's eating healthier, then obviously if you're eating the foods you believe to be right but not losing weight, well the fault is yours, right? So you're obviously not doing something right. So it's obsessively trying to find the answer, because if the answer we've been told wasn't eating less, it's eating the right combinations of food. And if you're not losing weight, well then you're obviously not eating the right combination of food. So you just constantly search for it. Your only answer is going, well, I haven't lost weight. The experts tell me I should be losing weight. I'm not being diligent enough. So now you're like, I'm going to, I just read that tracking my meals is the most important thing. So now I'm going to track them. Okay, well now tracking didn't really work. I lost a couple pounds, but not where I want to be. So I'm going to start weighing my food. That helps a little bit, but then you still get stuck. And then you hear about some fitness model who actually brings a scale with her to the restaurants. And next thing you know, you're that person weighing food in a restaurant. And that's the obsessive compulsive eating. I want people to let go of and realize that it's not magic, it's eating less. So.
Have you found that anyone has grasped onto Eat, Stop, Eat as a compulsive kind of
it was the natural sort of order
How are your 9 billion
was that let's wait for this and you can edit it out.
What letters?
We're gonna send out a mailer about the password, so
It's live television, people. No, is the obvious question was all right away, why'd you pick 24 hours? And then I'll tell people I picked 24 hours, it's a nice time point, it's easy to remember. So then they're like, can I do 26? And my response would be, I don't think there's any difference between doing a fast for 23 hours versus 25. It's probably not a big deal. Then I get there, well, if I can do 26, can I do 36? I'm like, well, you can do it. I just don't advise it, right? You're losing the flexibility.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well then can I do 24 hours 3 times a week? I'm like, well, sure, it's been done. Again, you're just losing flexibility. And then it's sort of like, well, that's possible. Can I do 4, 5? Can I fast every day for 23 and a half hours? And again, what you're doing is you're just just replacing one major for the other.
It becomes rigid. I have to fast Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Exactly. Yeah. But you and I are at a conference for 2.5 days, so I'm not fasting because I'm with my friends and free food.
Yeah, that was evident.
Yeah, that was happening.
I've never seen anyone eat as many brownies.
They were good brownies.
They were good brownies. They were good brownies. You still using fasting?
Yep. I'm
Regular?
about
Regime?
right now. I'm happy with my weight. I'm about 1 every 5 days.
Mhm.
Give or take. Again, I'm not exactly 1 every 5 days. So if I was wanting to fast on a Monday, something really cool came up, I'll fast on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not a big deal, but yeah, it's still.
That's what I find. I mean, for me, it's almost more convenience than anything else. Like, night before I have a big day the next day, and instead of worrying about, I have to get up at such and such a time to have breakfast, and I have to bring food with me, or I have to find a restaurant or whatever, I just like, I'm just not gonna eat tomorrow.
Perfect.
And
Travel days.
There's my fast. Yeah, travel days.
Absolutely.
A big day of travel.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Did you find more people buy the book for fat loss or for health?
Fat loss.
Yeah.
And then I think the health aspect comes from either reading the book or once they've read the book, they go online and look for more information. My background, my research was on the potential implications of fasting in weight loss. So I didn't have a huge background in defining health, etc.
Sure.
So people sort of do that after the fact. I think ultimately, for a majority of people, eating a little bit less and losing a little bit of weight is a great step towards health, and they just get on the